away in the last half of the game. And for Brooklyn, their shooting has been just great so far, up at 56%.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. We've got Derrick Rose. Bogdanovich out there with Young. Then there's Andrew Gaudlack. And it's Capella in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Gaudlack. Can't hit. Great D that time from Leonard. And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the third fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And that is good. And that'll tie this game up.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
A different look now for San Antonio. David West, he's checked in for Aldridge. And it's Mills in for Parker. The Nets also changing it up. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Gaudlack. And Donald Sloan subbed in for Derrick Rose.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Gotten good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them.
Here's Sloan. And that one goes. Feeding him with the lead pass.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Mills with it. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And it's West missing. For a while, the Spurs were viewed as a slow-it-down team from their championships almost a decade ago. That isn't the case at all anymore.
You know, I think it took the viewing public quite a while to catch on, though, Kevin, because now most people look at the Spurs as one of the more exciting brands of basketball in our league. Just watching one game of them, and now you know that is the case.
Nets have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. All alone. Sloan. Shot is off.
High-quality shot, just a little off there with the release.
And, Greg, that has him S-H-H-E, shaking his head. Tough miss that time.
Clark. Jones checked in for Brooklyn. Montejunas comes in for Thaddeus Young. Mills dishes to Diaw. He kicks to Leonard. From downtown. A second chance effort. It's blocked. But they get it back. Such a wide open look. Nets trail by 3. Here's Bogdanovich. Knocks down the 3-ball. Bogdanovich has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3-ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
And Mills kicks to Leonard. Lets it go with a 3. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
It is so hard to contain him. He just seems to get it done however he has to do it.
Here we go, San Antonio.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. Spurs leading by 3. The timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. Aldridge out there with Kawhi Leonard. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Spurs.
Well, it's been an outstanding game for them in the open court. Their fast break points really stand out.
Yeah, and another thing, they've created a lot of turnovers, but they've also been able to convert when they've got down in transition.
Leonard hits them both.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
Nets trail by 5. From deep, Rose. And the rebound goes to Duncan. And San Antonio shooting the ball really well in this game, 58%. Parker against Motiejunas. Parker passes to Aldridge. And it's good, and the assist by Parker. Parker's got 5 assists in the game. The Nets shooting well, 50% from the floor. San Antonio with the rebound. Now here's the fast break. Parker leading the way. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
The Nets making a switch here. Capella's checked in. And he makes both free throws.
And one thing about the NBA, there are a ton of siblings currently playing in the league. Some on the same team, some on opposing sides, but there must be over a half a dozen sets of siblings.
The Spurs making a switch here. Green's checked in. Tries to keep it alive. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Duncan. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Parker against Rose. And that one's good. As you said, Greg, there are a ton of sibling pairs in the NBA. Even more, Clark, if you include the D-League.
Well, you start with the Plumlees, the Gasols, the Teagues, Zellers. For twins, you have the Lopez twins, Morris twins, the Zellers, Gasols, Teagues, Steph, and Seth Curry. Count 2 with the D-League.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Duncan. Poked away.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
Guys, a good chance for them to slow it down.
Yeah, I agree. Got to use some clock here.
Leonard with a screen on Rose. Off the pick. Tries again. And Duncan with the layup. Duncan's got the lead up to 9 now for San Antonio.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And, guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Aldridge wide open. He fires. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. And it's an 11-point Spurs lead.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for San Antonio.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, Clark, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Well, it's more than luck, Kevin. I think the shot selection was good, too.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Leonard. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Clark, and they can just let the clock run out here.
No argument with that W.
The wing jumper off target.
This game's finally gotten away from him.
Yeah, it certainly has. I mean, there's not really much they can do at this point.
Bogdanovich, no luck. Here's Parker. And